Bull run is nuts. We are making money hand over fist. And I think the reason it's happening, don't thank me. Everyone's got to thank Jesse Eckel, because in my group, I've literally been mimicking Jesse Eckel's trades, and people are printing and they're hitting me up. And people now in my group are starting to follow him. And I'm like, he's the GOAT. He knows what's up. And the reason I started to follow Jesse, and I've followed Jesse for years, but when I started to really pay attention, I want you guys to really understand who to pay attention to out here and who not to pay attention to. Jesse is rare. There aren't a lot of YouTubers that are as good as him. People have to understand the history of Jesse from the last bull run. And the reason I've always followed him, maybe I didn't watch every single one of his videos, but there were certain times I started to see the time change. I started to see, the markets are shifting. And I also liked the way his mentality is. I also liked couple of his picks. Then he came out with this video. I think it was down here. He had like 7 picks or something like that. Seven projects that he's going into. I forgot when it was, a month ago or something. And I actually looked at that one closely. He had 7 projects, and I ended up buying 3 of them. It happens the 3 projects I bought were the ones that did the best, because I'm also very good at crypto, and I was like looking at them, and I looked at market cap, I looked at potential, I looked at different reasons why I got into them, and I did well. And I put it in my group, I put it on my Twitter. In fact, not only that, I have another channel called Big Time Trades right here on YouTube, and I actually even talked about it, because that's more of a stock market channel that I have. And I even brought up, like, these are the ones you should be investing in. Why you should be investing in these. And look at this is a month ago, guys. The people that followed me in this made a killing, okay, over there. And this channel gets a lot more views. Average is like 5 to 15,000 views per video. It's huge because stock market is bigger. And I literally talked about Virus, Avo, and Una, which have all done well. Like, look, Avo, look at the price of Avo, 004. What is the price of Avo now? Let's go take a look. Where is it? I mean, this is a 5x, 5 or 6x, 0222. It's over 2 cents now. This is the kind of alpha that I was trying to tell people back then. I'm like, follow Jesse. Why you got to follow Jesse is because cryptocurrencies, they just don't go up. They need someone to kind of back them. They need an influencer of some sort to go and push them. And Jesse was the guy that did from the last bull run, if you remember, Sphere and Titano. And you had to really, you can't be, a lot of people out here have PTSD. A lot of people are like, I lost money on these and I'm never going to follow this YouTuber again. That's because you are letting your emotions get ahead of the reality. Also, you're, like, if you're getting this emotional, you're also like, your IQ might be in question, okay? You got to get over the PTSD. People will not, and I talk to a lot of people are still scared to invest because they went through the bear market. If you do not get over your PTSD of what happened during the bear market, you won't make any money. In fact, I would have made a lot more money if I hadn't had a little bit of it myself, because instead of investing like $1,000 in Avo, I would have got $2,000 or $3,000. I was slowly trying to buy into it, but Jesse kept putting out videos and I kept pumping it. So I couldn't even buy as much as I wanted. Okay. But that's okay. But you got to get over your PTSD. Okay. And I talked about all these projects, even Una, which I liked. I bought Una, I bought Ava, and I bought Virus. Those were the 3 that I liked the most, that made the most sense. You see, I talked about it all in this video. I talked about some other stuff too. Oh, I actually talked about CDX. Now, CDX to me has the potential, which is also a very small company, basically $5 million right now. Oh, $4.2 million market cap. CDX is a kind of project that to me looks like Avo, but can be even bigger. And I'll get to that in a minute. So I talk about all these things that I think are going to do great. Now, why did I follow Jesse Eckel? Why did I think he was going to do great? Because you got to understand the way crypto works is you need an influencer to back up the project. If you don't have it, how are people going to find out about it? Basically, CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko, by doing a little bit of research here and there, looking at what's going hot, what's not. It's really hard to break through tens of thousands, if not millions, especially with the meme coin memes out there. It's just really hard to break through the noise. You need someone who is a voice of reason and who's smart and intelligent and really breaks down stuff. And Jesse, to be really honest with you, does an incredible job. Like, I'm actually really loving his content. And I don't suggest you follow him to go buy into any of his projects. I think you should follow him just so you can understand the mentality. He has the same mentality as me. Find the small projects that have billion-dollar potential. And that's what I'm looking for. And to be honest with you, he hit a home run with the 7 he found. I think out of the 7 he found, 3 or 4 of them have that potential. And I ended up buying even more of the other stuff that he talked about later. I think I'm up to like 4 or 5 of his tokens. So, you know, you got to give guys like this props, and you got to get out of your PTSD and your mental, what do you call it? The things that hold you back. Okay. You got to stop. This bull market is going to be absolutely epic. It will be much bigger than the last one. The guys, we've been around the last one. This is going to be nothing. Okay. You can talk about institutional money, real money. You're talking about real monster amounts of money from the stock market coming in. Okay. So this is my other channel. If you guys want to follow me also, it's called Big Time Trades. It just, you know, I talk about mainly BMNR and SBET and also some other stuff that does about, you know, kind of like crypto curious people. So I do try to mix it up. Like this was the video about with Jesse Eckel in it, buy altcoins now, which I was correct. You know, even like I have the AVAX logo, which has been doing well. You know, like I'm trying to educate these people over there that don't know much about it. Pretty much most of my picks here have done very well. I think I talked about a couple stocks like Galaxy Digital done well. B. Riley stock, this one's done incredibly well. I'm up almost double on this, which is crazy for stocks. Okay, so like I'm trying to hit big time trades, get that Malibu Dreamhouse money. That's what I'm trying to do over on this channel and over at the other channel. But what I'm going to be doing, guys, is covering more projects in line with the Jesse Eckel philosophy, because me and him, we see it eye to eye. And the one project that I am getting into that I can give you, I can't give you 7 like Jesse, because I honestly can't find 7 projects, but also I can't back up 7 projects like he can. He's a much larger channel. You know, during the last bull run, a lot of you guys remember I used to cover a lot of the tomb forks, and if I covered them, they did really well. If I didn't, they kind of died out. So it's like everyone kind of has their niche out here, and a lot of you guys are following a lot of YouTubers that aren't making you any money, giving you bad advice and so forth. I think you need to start coming around to the fact that some of the YouTubers from the last cycle are probably okay. All right. And probably know what they're doing because they've been around, they gained that experience. However, most of the YouTubers from the last cycle have gone. I'd say over 90% of them are gone. And I think you got to look at some of the ones you like from the last cycle and see if they're still around and see if they're saying anything that's different or important or anything that you can make money from. I've literally been printing money off Jesse's back, and I'd like to thank him. You know, like literally, he is smart. His analysis is on point. He's saying that the bull run is going to go into 2026. I always thought it was going to go on to 2026 because of the way interest rate cuts are going. People look at the timelines and they go, well, you know, the bull runs only go for 2 years. I'm going 2 years bear. No, it's not the way it works. It's just lined up with the economic kind of cycles before. It doesn't line up because of the date. People are looking at the date on X and going, oh, that's the date. And it's great to see someone like Jesse. I don't make videos as often as him, but it's great to see like him trying to educate you guys, because to be honest with you, a lot of you guys are just fucking dumb. That's just reality of it. You're just dumb. Like I see it on X all the time and on social media. Oh, the bull run's about to end. Is it? Like I saw people like when Bitcoin last week was at 109, it's going to go to 90 and then it's going to go to 60 and the bull run is over. Because why? Because it did it last time in those dates. It doesn't even make sense. It did it because it lined up with some economic cycles. Not because it just fell or it just went up magically. These people are low IQ. So please start following some high IQ people. And yes, a lot of the YouTubers from the last cycle are gone. In fact, YouTube isn't really a great source of information right now, but I think that will change. I think you'll see more YouTubers coming in that can be helpful and that can basically, you know, give you guys advice and go into like projects, but there aren't very many, really just me and Jesse, as far as people that pick low cap stocks, crypto that can go up like 100x. That's what I'm looking for. That's what he's looking for. Really isn't anyone else out there. I haven't found it. I mean, yeah, you got guys that are shilling stuff, but man, they're shilling like Ponzi's or they're shilling like stuff they're being paid for. And that's another problem. A lot of these YouTubers are getting paid and you think they're trying to, you know, they have this great project out here for you. They don't. All right. And I actually trust Jesse, and I think he's learned a lot, and I think he knows a lot at this point. Use his experience, use my experience, use other guys' experience. Now, the one project that I am going to shill, that I am into, that I really like, is called Codex. It's called the CDX token. This reminds me of AVO. Exactly. $4.2 million market cap. This is also $1 billion potential. And I've actually talked to the CEO, Justin. He's well known he's just well known. He's very well known. I actually had a very nice call with him and Steven, the guys that run the project. This thing is not fully live for average users to use till I think next week or the week after. And once this goes fully live, this is basically bot. You can make your own AI agent that's going to do trades for you. Their trades are winning like 70 or 80% of the time. In fact, their agent yesterday, when I was on a call with them, they asked the agent, should they trade? The agent was like, well, these are the good things if you trade. These are the bad things if you trade. Like, it tells you like what's going on in the market. GMX, it goes directly, you see right here, GMX positions. It hooks in directly with GMX, and they got one that's it's going to also link in with Hyperliquid. I believe they're going to probably add Aster later on too. But basically their trading bot is second to none. They've been working on this for 4 years. These guys are legit deal. $4 million for a token. This is my pick to be the next $1 billion marketplace. This is going to be the place. And it can do all the stuff, in fact, better than what AVO does, because you can they're going to have copy trading. So let's say I make my own portfolio that's doing really well. Well, you can copy trade how I've been trading, and it's like an ETF. Like, these things are what AVO is doing and why AVO is blowing up. It's the same exact thing, except maybe a little bit different, maybe a little bit more, I think there's a more sophisticated system. Okay. And it's really a lot going on here, a lot of advanced tools. And I think they're just trying to make it very simple for the average user to use, which from what I understand will be out in the next week or two. Now, something like this coming out is going to generate an enormous amount of revenues for them, especially if people start using it. And CDX has a huge following, for example, on Twitter, 203,000. And this is Justin, their CEO. He has a following himself, about 20, 30,000 people. And people love this guy. They know this guy. And they had a project in the last bull run that got to $100 million. So I'm riding with these guys. I got a feeling that $100 million, they're not even talking about $100 million. They believe CDX. They believe in CDX. They know the mistakes they made last time. They're not going to repeat them. And this is the thing. A lot of people are learning. They believe that CDX is going to go to $1 billion. I believe too now. I really do think it's going to go there. Yes, they still need to release it, but from what I'm seeing, guys, and my just playing around and making the AI agents and all the stuff that I've done on there, this system is unbelievable. I mean, and you can set your trading goals, like it's just, you can use their templates, and it's actually going to be even more simplified. They told me this is their older version. So the newer version is going to be even better. How many projects do you know that have a setup like this? This is incredible. And what? You want to give this thing a valuation of $4.2 million. So these are the things that I'm looking for. These are the projects that I believe can do $1 billion. And that's also why I'm following Jesse Eckel. I think he knows what's up. I think he really gets it. And you also have to look at his track record. People like to look at the track record of people in a negative way because of Titan or Sphere didn't do well long term. Well, first of all, we entered into a bear market. Nothing did well. 99.9% of tokens went to shit, including Bitcoin. So it's ridiculous to blame YouTubers. You guys have to understand how the cycles work and do not blame people, and understand how these things work. That's it. It's very simple. Okay. Number one. Number two, when he sold, people got angry. Listen, if you're not selling out here, you're not making any money. So he has every right to sell. When he was selling Titano, he told everyone. He's so honest that he told you guys. And honestly, I don't think, Jesse, you should tell people when you sell next time. You know why? Because people are stupid. Like, they're not going to appreciate your honesty, It's mind-boggling. So it's like, you got to take profits, you got to move on, and you got to go on to the next project. The next project, it's just the way it is. Now, please start following some of your other YouTubers and tell me if there's other YouTubers or guys on X. Put them in the comments that you think are good and that you made money on. Not guys that you just think are good, but guys that are actually giving the picks, because I haven't been able to find any. Like, I've been looking. I looked at what other guys are doing, all the old school guys like James Pelton and stuff. He ain't even doing anything. He never really had picks. He was just getting paid to post. like doing AMAs. That's not good enough. Like what we need in this bull run is actual YouTubers who do research, talk to the CEOs, do stuff like this, especially early on. That's what you need. That's what I do. That's what Jesse does. I don't have as many as Jesse because I don't know, man, this guy's a machine. He just does way more research. I have some picks I put into my Discord. Some of them have done well that are people that devs I speak to, but I think Jesse is probably the hardest working person out here. Like what he's doing is giving you guys gold. To me, this is a travesty. 11,000 views, 22,000 views. 50. This should be, guys are listening to Alex Becker, who gives no insight at all. In fact, Alex Becker tells people, it's insane. He literally tells people, I'm committed to doing no research. He doesn't even do any research. And Alex Becker is like, you know, millions of people following him. He doesn't give you any alpha, nothing new. He basically throws in your projects that a lot of times he's not even invested in. I think he's just talking about him to say he knows something about him, but doesn't know anything about him. So I've seen it a million times. And he's actually pumped some projects I've been into while I was in them. Like I didn't know he was even going to talk about them. And they took him to the moon. I didn't know why they went up. And I sold and I was like, oh, Alex Becker talked about it. And then basically like Node AI, I got in it like at 20 something or 30 something cents. It went all the way like $2. I sold it or $1.50. And then he starts talking about it when it's over $1 something. And I'm like, well, it's too late. It's run. Now it's at 20 cents. So Alex Becker doesn't necessarily do the research and understanding. He's just hyping up these tokens that are already worth hundreds of millions of dollars, if not 50, 100, 2, 3, 400 million dollars. That's not where I am. I want to find the stuff that's super cheap. That's why I got into Node AI early when it wasn't worth anything. That's what Jesse Eckel is doing. If you have our mindset, you want Malibu Dreamhouse money. You want to get in low, sell when we go 50x, 20x. And by the way, I'm still holding on to a lot of the stuff that Jesse has because he's right in his perspective. When he says, don't sell virus early, he's right. These games are just beginning of the bull run. If you guys remember from the old bull run, like virus, these companies like Axiom Infinity, who I've actually spoken to some of the people from the team, last year, actually was going to maybe do a project with somebody from the team there. And it's like it went into the billions, multi-billions. The facts of the matter are these are the kind of projects that can run to a few hundred million to a billion or more because people start using them more. There's more people onboarding onto crypto. There's more people onboarding onto these games on a daily basis. They get bigger and bigger and bigger, and especially when people find out they can do 80x. For example, the weed token this came out with yesterday went 80x. You don't think the next one, everyone's going to jump, it'll do 200x? Of course, that's what's going to happen. The hype builds each time. So you got to understand how crypto works. It's this hype machine that's building and building and building, and we're not even at the top. We're not even close to it. So when he says, understand, don't make the quick flip, understand like projects like Avo, projects like CDX, this other one he talked about, which I bought a little bit called Flay. These are long-term projects. I looked at this. This project looks great. Or Flaunch, F-Launch or something. Yeah. However you want to pronounce it. They did great. They look great. These are definitely projects you want to hold when you get into those $100 million plus market caps. The biggest mistake I made this cycle, by the way, is selling virtual token, which I got into day one. Literally day one. I was airdropped it. Day one, I got into it and I sold it at $150 million market cap thinking, oh man, I did so well. This thing went to $150 million market cap, and then it proceeded to go to $2 billion. So that's the mistake you can make out here. Okay. But $1,000, $2,000, or even if you go $5,000 in some of these projects can turn into life-changing money. You can't do that anywhere else except crypto. Some stocks, that's my stock channel, Big Time Trades. We're hitting some stuff, but it takes longer generally. You're not going to hit like a 10 or 20x as often as we do here. That's just facts because of the base of where we're starting at 2 or 3 or 4 million. My sweet spot is between 1 to 5 million. That's my sweet spot. I want to find projects that are between 1 to 5 million, and I want to ride them up to 100 million plus. That is what I'm hoping to do. And I believe all these projects that Jesse has spoken about are going to do it. I'm getting everyone in my group in them. I've got so many people in my group in them. My group, everyone's making money. Everyone's eating. You know why? Because I got them to follow Jesse. Some people hit me up and said, oh, his other picks weren't working. I'm like, well, that was, a couple months ago. The market's changed. And I'm like, why don't you look at the picks for what they are? Why do you have to look at them and say, oh, these other picks from a couple months ago didn't work? That's not the way it works. And also look at how many views he's getting versus how many views, because this is what I do, guys. I'm looking at data points all the time. Also look how many views he's getting now versus if you go back a couple months ago, his views were less. That means things are heating up. Okay, you gotta change your perspective on things, how things work. You gotta change your perspective. You can't have the same perspective. I'm writing off this person and that person because they did this. They didn't do anything, first of all. Okay, it was you didn't trade something correctly. You didn't go at something correctly. That's your fault. Okay. You have to understand what was going on in the market at that time, you know? And when I started seeing his views actually move up, you see back here, 6 months ago, his views were very low. 9,000, 5,000, 5,000. I'm getting more than that on my new channel with no subs. So then when I started seeing it explode, and I saw a couple of his videos do really well, I was like, oh, times are changing. So you got to be critical. You got to have critical analysis and understand how things work. Once you understand it, you'll know. And this is unbelievable. This video's only got 11,000 views. I mean, this one, he spits game. He spits game on this one. So anyway, guys, I'm going to be following Jesse's picks closely. I think Jesse has his hand on the heartbeat of crypto and DeFi or whatever way we're in. I don't know what season we're in or memes. He's not buying any memes, which is great. He's got his hands on it. His hand is on the trigger. He feels it. He's got it down. I'm going to follow him. And, you know, I put all the picks in my Discord if you guys want to follow me on my Discord. And we can talk about it. Come over, we'll discuss, and we'll see where these tokens go. A lot of my guys are in here now making money, and it's great. It's good to see. Money's flowing. Let's keep it going. Don't have PTSD. And also understand things have changed. This is not the bear cycle. Get out of it. Get out of your heads, guys. Get out of your heads and let's get going because there's going to be some real serious money being made over the next couple months. All right, guys. Take care.